This is from 8 years ago. And they was discussing with him the role of being He-Man. Take a look at what he had to say back then, and there's new news going on now.
Could Thor, the god of thunder, become another prince turned warrior? It would be an understatement to say that Chris Hemsworth is killing it right now. Let's see. You've got Thor, the Avengers, Red Dawn, and Snow White and the Huntsman, just to name a few, but could we be adding He-Man to the list? In August, Dolph Lundgren, who played the original He-Man in 1987's Masters of the Universe, voiced his support for Hemsworth to play the character in John M. Chu's reboot. But is the man himself even interested? Hemsworth sat down with Empire Online to discuss the possibility, but he is worried that He-Man is way too similar to the Asgardian warrior. When told that Lundgren gave him the stamp of approval for playing He-Man, Hemsworth said, quote, "I can't play He-Man. It's pretty much Thor, isn't it?" Well, yeah, it's pretty much Thor, but in different costume. Hemsworth did go on to say that he preferred to play a villain, so maybe we could see him in Masters of the Universe, but as a baddie instead of He-Man. In October, Chu told MTV that they were reworking the script to make it stronger and better, so once that's out of the way, I'm sure we will be hearing about more casting rumors soon. Disappointed Chris Hemsworth isn't too keen on playing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was 8 years ago. And here we fell back into He-Man was supposed to be getting released this summer, 2021, and this was going to be He-Man, Noah Centineo. And when we first did a video on this last year, I was like, hell no.
Did he bulk up or something?
Oh, they scrapped it. They scrapped it. They scrapped it all over again. And since we've got the first He-Man movie back in '87. There have been 22 attempts to redo it, and they all fall to the wayside. 22. Wow. So now some of the same writers that still hold the script that want to redo it are begging Chris Hemsworth to come play He-Man. Unlike 8 years ago when Chris told them no, this time Chris said, let him think about it. So B. Avery, I'm going to come to you first. Do you want to see Chris Hemsworth become He-Man? Now, I got to say this. Thor and He-Man is two different characters. Personally, if Thor brought his lightning ass down to Eternia, he would get his ass kicked by He-Man. And I'm going to leave it at that. But B. Avery, go ahead. And do you want to see Thor become He-Man?
First, I just got to say this real quick, man. I ain't seen the Clever Movies video in such a long time. But I would love to see it.
This dude, he trying to slip that in there,
Larry. Because I used to watch them. But I wasn't trying to throw no shade, but yeah, I'm down, man. I mean, he looks the part. You know, I know he's gonna commit to it. I know he can bulk up. I haven't seen. I think the last time I saw the He-Man movie I was in the 4th grade or something like that. Maybe the 1st grade. I can't. It's been so long. I mean, I remember the character, but barely remember the lore. Mm-hmm. So you saying that He-Man will whoop Thor?
Whoop him.
That is interesting to me.
Whoop him.
Even when hold on. He will whoop him even when with Thor getting the Odin Force.
It'd be a close tie. Be Avery. He-Man is the most powerful man in the universe. So you got to think when he raised that sword up and he said by the power of Grayskull, that is the Odin Force for Eternia. He already got the Odin Force, basically.
Well, school your boy. Because I know the Odin Force is serious now.
Be Avery. And let me just thank Eric Iverson. I appreciate that, my homie. And I'm going to get back to you in a minute. Be Avery. They did a crossover series where He-Man basically had to take on the Justice League, Hordak, and Skeletor. It came down to He-Man versus Superman. And you want to know what happened to Superman?
He got his ass whooped. Don't tell me.
The sword of power went right through his fucking chest.
Oh, wow. My God. We got to have it now. We got to have it, man.
It went right through his...
We got to have it.
Only for them to find out that they were being manipulated by Darkseid and Skeletor in the comics. Because DC has some rights to the Masters of the Universe in that crossover. And so,
Nice.
Look,
I'm down for it. And hello, Zia. How you doing?
What's up,
those
Zia?
that are interested, I did a video a few months back where you can actually watch He-Man live. You can watch him on YouTube because there is a He-Man channel where they just play He-Man videos or cartoons like 24/7 on the YouTube channel.
Right.
So
now I will say this, my people. At first, I was kind of rolling my eyes, like, do I give somebody else a chance? But then I had to think. I just got finished cussing last year because they was trying to put Noah Centineo in the role, but Noah Centineo doesn't fit the role. He don't look. I don't care how much bulking up he does. He's not going to get big enough to play He-Man. He's just not going to do it. And so we know what we're going to get from Chris Hemsworth. And I got to say, I'm very proud of Chris Hemsworth playing Thor. At first, I rolled my eyes at that. I wanted Triple H to be Thor. But you know what? Triple H would have never had he would have never had the range. He would have never had the range that Chris Hemsworth has.
Bro,
and
if Chris, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
After saying Blade Trinity, bro, I don't ever want to see him act again, man.
Come on now. See,
that was awful. That was awful.
Oh my God. So Larry, get on up in here, man. How do you feel about Thor reprising He-Man?
honestly, man, I would rather see him play. I'd rather see him play Skeletor.
Okay.
You know, because Skeletor's a big yoked up dude too. He said he wants to play a villain, so I think that would be perfect for him. You know, it's one of those roles that he could be in it if they're going to turn this into like a franchise, you know, make a multiple, you know, do multiple movies out of it. He can be around for a long time because Skeletor stays fighting He-Man. But I'll be honest with you, I feel like not to say they can throw anybody in there, but I feel like He-Man could be played kind of by anybody. I'm really more interested in who's going to be the villain there and who's going to play She-Ra. You know,
damn, Larry, got to get off the horse, man. Can we get He-Man first? Can we get you always on that horse trying to ride down to the? God,
they can't make a He-Man movie without She-Ra.
Give it. Look, I'm with you.
Grayskull.
It's like this, Larry. I'm with you on the whole universe. If you can get He-Man done right, you could turn this. This thing could be the MCU. Of He-Man, because you literally have so many stories you can tell. So, B. Avery, you might only know of He-Man and Skeletor, right?
Right.
There's a more powerful villain named Hordak that's more powerful than Skeletor, who fights She-Ra. So, you know, She-Ra has a little bit more power than He-Man in terms of her magic on her sword. You know, they put a little pearl on her sword that does all kinds of magical shit. I mean,
give it to us. What are they? I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck is going? Take us so long. This is. I'm telling you. But
get this. Then you've got a villain more powerful. Well, he's not more powerful than Hordak, but he's equal power, which means he's stronger than Skeletor. Called the Snake Men. I mean, and then He-Man has to go get a pal of his from outer space to come help deal with all them, then bring in She-Ra to help deal with all that mess. I mean, B. Avery, the way that you get Castle Grayskull was because the guy that used to live in Grayskull looks like He-Man. And when all these evil forces came to take the power of Grayskull, King Grayskull didn't have a weapon, and he thought he needed a weapon. And guess what he needed? He only needed a sword. And they killed him in the battle, but all the energy and magic got absorbed into this sword. The sorceress passes it down to He-Man, and that's where you get He-Man from, and Castle Grayskull from King Grayskull. I mean, you could do a Game of Thrones spin on this shit.
Let's do it. I'm on board.
And can we get the He-Man Scooby-Doo crossover?
Hell no, man. No.
Dude, that was dope.
No, man.
Dude, that was incredible when they did that.
No, not yet.
What's up, Moochie? How you doing in the chat? I have a question though. I had to shout out Mooch real quick.
You good? You good?
I have a question though. I was trying to ask. Meant to ask this earlier.
Yeah.
Since you said that it would be a close fight between Odin Force, Thor, and He-Man, who would win if there was no weapons? Or is that even a thing? I'm just curious.
You mean Odin Force Thor versus He-Man? Who win in the fight?
Or a regular Thor, but no sword, no Stormbreaker.
He-Man still whipping him. He-Man is on par with the strength of He-Man is stronger than Superman.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Think of the energy you have to get your sword. Well, think of how damn strong the sword is first to go through Superman. But remember, Superman is vulnerable to magic. Right. That sword is magical.
Gotcha.
But you still got to have a certain amount of force to get it to go through his skin. I mean, I could geek out about this all day.
Well, I'm sorry, because my geek gears are turning in my head. Who is the I ain't mad at you, but he ain't even took it out the box. You know what I'm saying? He gonna pass that down to baby L. You know what I'm saying? Like
he already done tried to take it.
You know,
I got one down here on a lower shelf that she always come grabbing, and it's this one right here.
Who is the weakest person in the MCU that can beat He-Man? If that question makes sense.
And do he get to keep his sword?
Yeah, he get to keep his sword. I know. I probably Phoenix can. I'm pretty sure Phoenix can get him.
Yeah. Some of those cosmic people will whip his ass.
Okay.
Phoenix will beat him for sure.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of someone a little lower toned than Phoenix.
What about the dude that was it Blue Marvel that you said could whoop Hulk, the black guy? Is that his name?
Blue Marvel could beat him.
Okay.
Blue Marvel could beat him. I mean, Blue Marvel is a hyped up, stronger, more intelligent Superman.
Okay.
So Blue Marvel, Captain Marvel is not beating He-Man. No.
Oh.
No.
Mike Willie. What's up, Mike Willie? What's up, Buzz?
No, man. But yeah, B. Avery. I mean, they could take,
bro. You got me excited.
I mean, because think about it. If you like Game of Thrones and you like comics, you can bring these two worlds because there's dragons in He-Man.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
It's like I don't understand why they haven't even got the writers from Game of Thrones to come and help on this project, because that's background would be perfect for Eternia, because you've already got your magic, you've already got a decent script. The only thing that you couldn't put in He-Man is sex. I mean,
you know, the thing surprises me. I think they at this point they would have at least refreshed the animated series.
They did in 2002, and it was actually good, Larry. However, they made that He-Man a straight bum. I mean, He-Man didn't get his ass whipped in the 80s. The Snake King punched He-Man so hard, it knocked him over a mountain, and he transformed back to Prince Adam. He was like, boop. He-Man goes flying over the mountain, hits the ground, and transforms back into Prince Adam. And I'm sitting here like, come on, man. You can't have nobody stronger than He-Man. So they called a dude from outer space who's friends with the sorceress, who's helped save Grayskull before, and he has to help Superman deal with the Snake Men. So I was a little disappointed.
I'm with it.
I'm telling you, B. Avery, boy. Whew. I can't wait. Maybe I need to go write the script because I'm a super fan over here. I'm telling you.
You know?
We'll support her. Give you my energy through the camera. There you go.
I